Tonight, as you close your eyes and let your thoughts drift away, imagine yourself lying on soft grass beneath a wide, open sky. The air is cool and still. A faint breeze moves gently across your skin, carrying the quiet scent of earth and leaves. Above you, the sky stretches endlessly, deep and dark, like calm water. One by one, the stars begin to appear. Small lights at first, then brighter, as if the night itself is slowly waking. You watch them shimmer, each one glowing softly, never rushing, never fading. The world around you feels distant, as though time has slowed to a peaceful rhythm. Every sound becomes quiet, the whisper of grass, the soft hum of the night. The stars above move in silent harmony, keeping their slow, eternal pause. Far away, the moon rises. Its light is gentle, spreading silver across the ground, over the hills, the trees, and your resting body. You feel safe here, as if the night sky has wrapped itself around you like a blanket. In this stillness, the universe feels alive but calm, full but never loud. Somewhere in that vast sky, our solar system turns, a family of worlds drifting together through the endless sea of space. The sun, at the center, glows with patient warmth, holding everything close with invisible arms of light. Around it, the planets move in quiet order, each one following its path with perfect grace. You can almost see them, small, shining spheres gliding through the dark. Mercury, moving swiftly and close to the sun. Venus, glowing pale and soft like a distant lamp. Earth, your home, turning gently in the golden light. Mars, red and lonely, tracing its slow dance further away. Beyond them, Jupiter and Saturn drift like ancient giants, surrounded by their quiet moons. All of them move together, like notes in a slow song that never ends. They never rush. They never fall out of rhythm. They follow their orbits the way the heart follows its beat. Steady, calm, endless. If you close your eyes a little more, you might imagine yourself floating among them, drifting between worlds, the starlight brushing softly across your face. The silence of space isn't empty here. It feels full of peace, full of the gentle hum of existence itself. You begin to notice how everything moves together. The planets, the moons, the tiny comets gliding like silent feathers through the dark. Even the stars far away seem to breathe in the same quiet rhythm. Nothing fights here. Nothing hurries. It is a place where everything belongs exactly where it is, and you, lying under the sky, are part of it too. The same calm that holds the planets also holds you. The same gentle light that touches Jupiter and Saturn also touches your skin. Time feels soft now. The edges of your thoughts blur. The sky above becomes a calm ocean of stars, and you are floating, safe, in its quiet light. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you lie still beneath the quiet sky, imagine the center of everything, the heart of our solar system, the sun. Not the harsh, burning sun that blazes in the day, but the calm, gentle one that glows far away in the distance, steady and kind. Its light travels across millions of miles, touching every world with warmth, reaching even the smallest grain of dust drifting through space. The sun does not shout or roar. It simply shines. Its glow has no edges, no rush. It breathes out light the way a sleeping body breathes air, slow, even, endless. That light moves silently through the darkness, filling it with peace instead of emptiness. Close your eyes and imagine standing on a quiet hill at dawn. The first golden light touches the edge of the earth. The air begins to soften. You can feel warmth spreading through the cold, the world waking in silence. That is the same calm gift the sun gives every morning, every day, to every living thing that exists. The sun has been burning for billions of years, but not like the flames we know, not wild, not dangerous. Its fire is gentle, deep inside, where atoms meet and dance. Tiny sparks join together to make something greater, not destruction, but creation. In the core of the sun, light is born quietly, like a seed sprouting in soil, and it rises slowly, layer by layer, until it escapes into the open. By the time that light reaches us, it has traveled for a very long time, through space so vast it cannot be measured by the heart, only by patience. When it touches the earth, it brings warmth to oceans, to trees, to your own skin. Every beam that falls on a leaf helps it live. Every ray that touches water makes it shimmer with life. Even now, as you breathe softly, you are breathing because of that same endless light. Think of how the sun moves. It does not wander or grow tired. It stays in the center, quiet and certain, watching its family of planets turn around it. The sun gives, and never asks for rest. It glows in silence, holding everything together with invisible threads of gravity, a parent whose hands never let go. Every sunrise is a whisper from the sun, saying, "I am still here." The warmth that touches your face in the morning is ancient. The light that fills your room has traveled across time just to reach you. Even when you cannot see it, when clouds drift, when night falls, the sun still burns softly beyond sight, waiting, never asleep. In the calm dark of space, the sun is not alone. Around it, dust glows in its light, planets shimmer with reflected gold, and comets sparkle as they pass. Its warmth stretches far, farther than we can dream, across empty miles where no sound exists, where only light moves, steady and sure. It is easy to forget, here on Earth, that everything, every forest, every ocean, every breath, comes from that same quiet glow. The warmth you feel on your skin, the food that grows, the air that moves, all are part of the sun's patient gift. Sometimes, when you close your eyes in daylight, you can still see it through your eyelids, a soft red glow, pulsing like a heart. That gentle heartbeat of light is what keeps everything alive. It turns the cold of space into a cradle for life. It gives the planets reason to dance. Even now, as the night surrounds you, the sun is still burning somewhere, calmly, beautifully, endlessly. Its light is moving through space, crossing the quiet darkness, making its way toward the Earth again. It never stops. It never grows weary. It simply shines, because that is what it was born to do. And so, as you rest, imagine that same light gently passing over you, soft, golden, quiet. Feel its warmth in your chest, its peace in your breath. The same calm energy that feeds the forests and oceans flows through you too. You are part of that quiet cycle, part of that warm, endless rhythm that began long before you and will continue long after. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you rest beneath the quiet sky, imagine yourself floating in the calm darkness of space. All around you, the planets are drifting, slow, graceful, peaceful. They move like dancers, circling the sun in perfect rhythm, each following its own gentle path. There is no rush here, no noise, only quiet motion, steady and sure. The planets do not collide or compete. They glide together in harmony, held by invisible threads of light and gravity. You can almost hear the rhythm, not sound, but feeling, a silent pulse that keeps everything turning, age after age, without end. Closer to the sun, the smallest worlds move swiftly. Mercury, tiny and bright, spins like a spark in the golden light. It moves so fast that a single day and a single year almost meet. It feels the sun's warmth like no other planet, its rocky surface glowing softly in the endless morning of space. A little farther, Venus drifts like a pearl. Her clouds are thick and pale, hiding the surface below, wrapping her in mystery. From far away, she glows brighter than any other planet, a quiet lantern in the darkness. Her movement is slow, almost dreamy, as if she is turning backward through time, lost in her own rhythm. Then comes Earth, your home, blue, soft, full of life. From space, it looks calm, covered in oceans and light. Clouds drift over its surface like gentle breath. It spins with care, balancing day and night, sunlight and shadow. Everything that lives here, every wave, every leaf, every heartbeat, moves to the same rhythm that guides the planets. Mars follows next, the red wanderer. His deserts glow faintly, covered in dust that remembers old winds and ancient storms. His two small moons move quickly, like tiny companions keeping him company in the vast dark. Mars feels lonely but peaceful, watching over the solar family from a little distance. Beyond Mars, the great worlds begin. Jupiter, massive and calm, turning slowly with wide, soft colors swirling across its surface. Its storms move in circles, graceful and eternal, like the slow motion of a giant's breath. Dozens of moons dance around it, shining like small beads of light. Saturn drifts even farther out, wearing rings of frozen dust and ice. They spin around him like music, glowing faintly in the sunlight. From far away, Saturn looks like a dream. Perfect balance, perfect beauty. The rings shimmer like glass, catching light from the sun and sending it softly into the dark. Farther still, Uranus rolls gently on its side, spinning like a sleeping giant. His pale blue glow feels calm and cold, peaceful and distant. Then Neptune, the farthest traveler, moves through the deep night of space. His winds are strong, his color a dark and quiet blue, the color of faraway thoughts. Together, all these worlds dance without a sound. They turn and turn, year after year, never touching, never falling. Their paths are smooth, their rhythm ancient. It is a dance that began long before any life existed, a dance that will go on long after all life has rested. If you drift quietly among them, you would feel the soft pull of gravity guiding you, gentle, steady, kind. The planets keep their distance like respectful dancers, each knowing its place, each moving with silent grace. From high above, it would look like a painting, glowing orbits drawn across the endless dark, the sun at the center like a warm heart, sending out light to every corner. Every planet reflects that same light in its own way. Some glow softly, some faintly, some not at all, but all of them share in its warmth. It binds them, holds them, comforts them. Even comets, with their long shining tails, join the dance now and then, sweeping close to the sun before drifting away again, a brief visitor in the calm order of the solar family. And somewhere, among all of them, Earth turns quietly. You, lying here beneath the stars, are part of that same motion, the slow turning, the endless dance. Your heartbeat follows the rhythm of the world. Your breath moves with the pull of the moon. The ground beneath you spins softly through the night, carrying you gently through space. Everything is moving, the planets, the moons, the stars, yet everything feels still. There is no noise in this dance, only peace. The solar system turns like a lullaby, played forever in the background of time. Now, feel yourself drifting with it, slow, steady, safe. The same quiet rhythm that guides the planets is guiding you too. Let it carry you deeper and deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you float gently through the quiet dark, imagine a blue and green world turning slowly beneath you. It glows softly against the blackness of space, wrapped in thin white clouds that move like silk. This is Earth, our home in the vast sky. From far away, it looks peaceful, fragile, and alive. It turns slowly, calmly, like a heartbeat you can almost feel. The first thing you notice is the color. The deep blue of oceans, calm and endless, covering most of the planet like a mirror for the sky. They move with slow waves, whispering against the shores of continents that shine with green and brown, like brushstrokes on a round, living canvas. White clouds drift across the surface, their shadows gliding over forests, deserts, and mountains. Every part of Earth moves together, in balance, like breath, in and out, soft and steady. From this view, you can see how gentle life truly is. The thin layer of air that surrounds the planet, so thin you could almost imagine touching it, holds everything we know. It carries the scent of rain, the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight, and the cool breath of night. Within that fragile layer, every living thing exists, sharing the same quiet space. The oceans breathe too. Waves rise and fall like the planet's chest. The water holds memory of storms, of calm, of life being born and carried through ages. Beneath the surface, tiny lights glow, creatures move slowly, and currents weave invisible powers that connect every shore. Above the land, forests stretch like green oceans of their own, whispering softly in the wind. Each tree reaches upward toward the light, each leaf turning sunlight into life. The mountains stand still and patient, holding the memory of the earth's deep heart. Rivers flow from them like threads of silver, carrying water through valleys and fields, keeping the world alive and whole. Everywhere, clouds drift in quiet cycles, forming, fading, forming again, wrapping the planet in a blanket of calm motion. From above, you see storms swirling gently like white spirals, their shapes both powerful and beautiful. Yet even the strongest storm looks peaceful from space, part of the same rhythm that guides everything else. The air moves softly across continents, carrying warmth from the seas and cool from the poles. It mixes light and shadow, day and night, summer and winter, blending them into the song of life. The sunrise glows gold on one side of the planet, while the other rests in blue darkness, sprinkled with lights where people dream below. As you watch the Earth turn, you can feel how small we are, just a breath in the endless sky. And yet, within that smallness, there is something extraordinary. Every sound, every heartbeat, every act of love or kindness, all happen here, on this quiet sphere floating in a sea of stars. It is both tiny and infinite at once. This world has given us everything. The air we breathe, the water that fills our veins, the ground beneath our feet. It asks for nothing but care, nothing but peace. When you stand beneath its sky, you are held by invisible arms, gravity pulling you gently toward its heart. When you lie down and close your eyes, you are resting on a planet that spins softly, carrying you through the silence of space. Sometimes, when you look at the horizon, it feels endless, but from above, you see how complete and whole it is. Every mountain, every drop of rain, every cloud, every sound belongs to one delicate balance. Earth does not fight the sky. It flows with it, just as you flow with your breath. You are part of that same pattern. The same air that touches the tallest trees also fills your lungs. The same water that circles the globe moves through your body. The same light that falls on oceans touches your skin. You are made of this world, not apart from it, but within it. The earth turns on, patient and quiet. Night becomes day, day becomes night, again and again, like a lullaby for all who live here. Every rotation is a slow reminder that life continues, softly and endlessly. And as you imagine the earth turning now, blue, green, white, and alive, feel that calm inside you. Feel the same gentle motion in your thoughts, the same rhythm in your breath. You are safe here, on this small, shining world, floating peacefully in the great dark sea of the cosmos. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you rest beneath the deep, quiet sky, imagine the moon rising slowly over the horizon. It climbs without a sound, its soft light touching the tops of trees, the roofs of homes, the still surfaces of lakes and seas. The moon does not hurry. It moves with the patience of time itself, crossing the sky in silence, glowing gently like a lamp in the dark. Its face is calm and still, marked with pale shadows and light. From far away, it seems smooth and perfect, but up close it carries a memory of ancient impacts, soft craters that tell the story of how long it has watched over the world. For billions of years, the moon has circled us like a faithful companion, turning gently, always showing the same side, its silent face glowing with borrowed light. The moon doesn't shine by its own fire. It reflects the light of the sun, turning darkness into silver. It gathers that distant warmth and scatters it softly across the night. When the world sleeps, the moon keeps watch, casting a quiet glow that touches oceans, mountains, and dreams alike. Sometimes it is full, round and bright, filling the sky with silver calm. Other times, it fades into a thin curve, a quiet whisper of light. It never disappears completely. It only rests, waiting to return. The moon moves through its phases slowly, tenderly, like a breathing rhythm, waxing, waning, resting, and glowing again. Its changes remind us that everything in the universe has its own cycle, a time to shine, a time to fade, a time to begin again. The pull of the moon reaches even the waters of the earth. Beneath its quiet gaze, the oceans rise and fall. Waves stretch toward it, as if answering a gentle call. Every tide, every ripple, every soft motion of water is guided by its invisible hand. Even from so far away, the moon's presence can move the largest seas, and yet it does so gently, without noise or force. Think of how many eyes have looked up at that same light. Ancient people stood under the same sky, watching the same moon. They whispered stories about it, of gods, of spirits, of love and longing. Some saw a guardian watching from above. Others saw a traveler, lonely and bright. Poets wrote about its glow. Lovers walked under it in silence. Children dreamed beneath it. The same soft light that shines tonight has touched every age of humankind. The moon's light does not judge or choose. It shines on every ocean, every mountain, every heart with equal calm. When it fills the sky, shadows grow longer, and the world feels slower, more peaceful. Even animals pause to listen. Owls call softly. The wind drifts, and time seems to rest. When clouds pass across the moon, its glow becomes dimmer, softer still, like a lantern hidden behind silk. Yet even then, it is there, patient, waiting for the sky to clear. The moon never leaves. It only hides for a little while, reminding us that even in darkness, light still exists. Now imagine standing somewhere quiet, maybe by the sea, where the waves glimmer in silver light. The moon's reflection dances gently on the water, and the air feels cool and clean. You breathe slowly, feeling that same calm light move through you, as if your heart has caught a piece of the moon's glow. The world feels smaller under its gaze, and yet, somehow, more complete. The same moon that watches over oceans watches over you. It has seen everything, every dawn, every dream, every moment of peace, and it will keep watching long after tonight. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the stars shimmer softly above, imagine moving closer to the heart of the solar system, closer to the warm light of the sun, where a small world races endlessly through golden space. This is Mercury, the quick traveler, the smallest of the planets, and the one nearest to the sun's bright glow. It moves swiftly, like a spark circling a gentle fire, always in motion, always alive. Mercury has no air, no clouds, no oceans. Its surface is quiet and bare, covered in pale dust and silent craters. The sunlight there is strong and sharp, painting long shadows over ground. Yet, in all that emptiness, there is peace. The rocks never move, the wind never comes, and still, Mercury keeps traveling, round and round the sun, steady and faithful, like a heartbeat that never stops. Because it is so close, Mercury feels both warmth and cold that few can imagine. When the sun faces it, the surface burns with light, glowing brighter than desert sand at noon. But when night falls, the warmth fades completely, and the cold seeps in deep and endless. Still, Mercury does not complain. It simply keeps its rhythm, turning slowly, holding its course. From far away, Mercury looks like a tiny bead of silver gliding near the sun's golden flame. Its orbit is fast, quicker than any other planet's. A single year on Mercury passes in just a handful of Earth days, like a breath, a blink, a heartbeat of cosmic time. Yet even at such speed, it moves quietly. No sound, no rush, just balance and grace. It has no moon to keep it company, no thick atmosphere to hide behind. Only the sun, always near, always watching. And perhaps that is enough. The sun's light touches its surface so closely that Mercury glows faintly, like a mirror catching firelight. It takes that brilliance, carries it, and reflects it into space, a silent messenger between the darkness and the glow. If you could stand upon Mercury's ground, the sun would look huge, more than twice the size it appeared from Earth. The light would fall across endless plains of rock, filling every shadow with gold. The sky would be black, but the sun's rays would shimmer like waves, turning every stone into something holy and still. There are no sounds there, no wind to whisper, no trees to move, just the hum of silence and the endless warmth of the sun above. And though Mercury is small, it moves with purpose. It has never stopped. For billions of years, it has circled the same path, tracing a perfect loop around the sun, a tiny world bound to a great fire, loyal and tireless. In a way, Mercury reminds us of persistence. It may be small and lonely, but it endures, balancing heat and cold, light and dark, speed and silence. It asks for nothing and gives everything it has, its motion, its reflection, its dance around the light. From the quiet edge of the universe, you might watch it pass, a bright spark near the glowing heart of the solar system. Its journey never falters. Even in the harshest heat, it keeps to its path. Even in the coldest night, it continues to shine faintly, touched by light that never ends. And perhaps that is its secret. To stay close to warmth, but never too close to burn. To move quickly, but never to lose its calm. Mercury's dance is a rhythm of devotion, fast, faithful, and quiet. As you drift now, think of that tiny world, circling the sun again and again, never lost, never still. Let its calm strength touch your thoughts, the soft hum of motion, the glow of light, the peace of endless travel. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the world grows quiet and soft twilight fills the sky, a pale golden light appears near the horizon, gentle, glowing, almost shy. That is Venus, the second planet from the Sun. Some call her the evening star, others a morning star, but she is not a star at all. She is a world hidden beneath a veil of thick, golden clouds, a planet that glows quietly in the darkness, as if keeping her secrets to herself. Venus shines more brightly than any other planet. Her light lingers long after sunset and returns before dawn, a constant companion between night and day. She never blazes, she glows. Her radiance is calm, steady, and soft, like a candle seen through mist. The clouds that surround her reflect the sunlight so completely that she becomes a mirror in space, turning harsh light into something tender and beautiful. Beneath that golden veil, Venus is hidden. Her clouds are thick and endless, wrapping the planet in silence. They move slowly, swirling in smooth layers, forever circling her hidden surface. The sunlight that touches them is scattered into gold and white, creating a glow that makes Venus look peaceful from afar, though deep inside, she keeps her storms, her heat, and her heart well out of sight. It is easy to imagine Venus as a shy sister of the solar system, bright, graceful, yet private. She does not show her face. For centuries, people on Earth have looked up and wondered what lies behind that light. Ancient watchers made stories about her beauty, her mystery, her quiet strength. They saw her as a goddess, a symbol of love and calm, rising in the morning sky like hope or shining in the evening like memory. Her brightness has guided travelers and dreamers alike. When the sun fades, Venus is the first to appear. When night ends, she is the last to leave. She keeps the sky company when it changes, a soft reminder that endings and beginnings are not so different after all. If you could float near her, the view would be dreamlike. The sunlight would pour through golden clouds, diffuse and soft, turning everything into warm haze. The horizon would shimmer like molten honey, and the air would glow faintly, as if the planet itself were made of light. You wouldn't see the ground, only the endless layers of mist swirling slowly beneath you, calm, mysterious, endless. The winds there are strong, but from a distance, they move like silk. The clouds stretch across the sky in quiet, steady motion, wrapping Venus in a veil that never lifts. Beneath that veil, the surface waits, still, hot, and secret, like a memory hidden deep in the mind. But you don't need to see it to understand her beauty. It's a mystery itself that gives her glow its power, the way she shines without revealing, the way she hides yet still fills the sky with grace. From Earth, Venus often appears beside the moon, like a small companion walking the night's edge. Her light ripples on water, flickers between tree branches, and touches windows before dawn. There's something timeless in the way she stays, patient, gentle, unchanged, no matter how many centuries pass. And yet, Venus moves constantly, circling the sun just as we do. Her orbit is close, her motion slow, her rotation so steady that a single day there lasts longer than a year. But in that slowness, there's peace, a calm rhythm that reminds us that not all motion needs to be fast, not all beauty needs to be loud. The light of Venus has watched over every night since before humans spoke. It has seen oceans rise, mountains form, and people dream. It will still be shining long after we are gone, softly guarding the twilight sky. So tonight, as the day fades and the first pale glow of Venus appears above the horizon, let that golden light find you. Imagine her veil of clouds glowing far away, calm and mysterious, sending warmth through the endless dark. Feel that peace settle into your chest, the same quiet peace that keeps us shining, unseen yet radiant. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you float through the quiet sea of space, a faint red glow begins to rise in the distance. It is soft at first, like the blush of dawn spreading across an endless horizon. That glow belongs to Mars, the red dream, a world both close and far, familiar yet lonely, wrapped in silence and memory. Mars moves through space with a slow, steady grace. Its color is warm and gentle, not harsh, the color of dust and old sunlight. From afar, it looks like a glowing ember, floating in the dark. Its surface is dry and still, carved by ancient winds that have been whispering for millions of years. There are no oceans here, no forests, no voices, only the long sigh of the Martian breeze, moving across quiet plains. The deserts of Mars stretch endlessly, painted in shades of red, gold, and brown. Hills rise like soft waves of sand, and deep valleys wind through the land like forgotten rivers. The ground is covered in fine dust, smooth as silk, colored by iron that glows faintly under the distant sun. The air is thin, too thin for breath, but it moves gently, enough to carry whispers of old storms that once shaped the planet's face. There are mountains here too, great volcanoes that sleep under the pale sky. Olympus Mons, taller than any mountain on Earth, rises like a quiet giant, watching over the planet in silence. Its slopes are smooth and ancient, untouched for ages. Around it, plains stretch wide, peaceful and empty. You can almost imagine standing there, feeling the faint pull of gravity, lighter and softer than on Earth, the sky above tinted with a soft pink light. When the sun shines on Mars, it glows faintly through the thin air, turning everything into shades of rose and gold. The horizon seems endless. The shadows move slowly, and time feels different, stretched and calm, as if each second lasts a little longer. At dusk, the sky turns violet, and two tiny moons rise together, moving fast across the heavens. Their light flickers on the ground like quiet dreams passing by. If you listen closely in your imagination, you might hear the wind brushing over the rocks, a sound like a soft breath. It moves gently, carrying dust across craters and dunes, shaping the land grain by grain. There are no storms now, only the echo of what once was. The silence is deep but not empty. It feels full of peace, as if the planet itself is resting, breathing slowly beneath its red skin. Long ago, rivers may have flowed here. The marks they left still remain, dry channels that twist through the land, carved by water that has long vanished. Scientists believe that once, Mars may have held seas, lakes, and rain, a softer time when the planet was alive in a different way. Now it dreams quietly of those days, its surface still holding the memory like a faded photograph. When night comes on Mars, the stars burn bright and sharp. The cold is deep, but the beauty is endless. The horizon glows faintly where the last sunlight lingers, and above it, Earth sometimes appears, a small blue dot in the distance, shining like a reminder of home. From there, our world looks fragile and far, a tiny spark of life in the vastness. Standing on Mars, you would feel small, but also peaceful. There is no noise here, no rush, only the slow rhythm of the universe moving quietly around you. The ground beneath your feet is ancient and calm. The air carries only the gentlest wind. Every grain of dust is weighted untouched for centuries. It is a world that feels both lonely and safe, a dream of distance, a memory of warmth. Mars reminds us that silence can be beautiful, and that even a place so far away can hold a kind of calm that feels close to the heart. Now, as you imagine that red horizon stretching beneath the soft pink sky, let your mind rest there, in that endless stillness, in that quiet light. The same sun that warms you now also touches those deserts, softly, gently, forever. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you drift farther into the deep silence of space, a great shape begins to appear, vast, round, and glowing softly in the distant light. This is Jupiter, the giant of storms. It moves with calm power, spinning slowly through the dark like a living world made of cloud and wind. From far away, it looks peaceful, bands of cream, gold, and pale orange swirling together in patterns that never end. It feels like watching marble come alive, each color flowing into the next, every motion slow and graceful. Jupiter is the largest of all the planets, so big that more than 1,000 Earths could fit inside it. And yet, for all its size, it moves with silence and grace. Its surface is not solid, only endless layers of cloud, one drifting over another, turning in circles that never stop. The sunlight that touches it turns those clouds soft and glowing, like the folds of a great golden curtain moving in slow motion. Within those clouds, storms are born, storms so vast it could swallow our world whole. The greatest of them all is a great red spot, a swirling oval of wind and light that has spun for centuries. Generation after generation has watched it, and still it continues, quiet, patient, eternal. From a distance, it looks calm, like a slow swirl of paint floating on water. Only up close would you sense the power hidden inside, the motion so steady it feels like time itself is turning. The winds on Jupiter move faster than any storm on Earth, but their sound never reaches us. Out here, there is no thunder, No crash of waves, only the soft movement of color across cloud tops. The storms roll and twist like the brushstrokes of a giant artist, blending pale blues, golds, and whites together into a pattern that feels both ancient and alive. Jupiter doesn't shine with its own light, yet it glows softly in the sun's reflection. It seems almost gentle, as if something so enormous has learned patience. Its gravity holds dozens of moons close, each one a small world of its own. They orbit like quiet children, following their parents' calm rhythm. Some are covered in ice, some in rock, some shimmer faintly with hidden oceans beneath their surface. Together, they move in perfect harmony, circling the giant with steady devotion. From a faraway point in space, Jupiter's motion is mesmerizing. You could watch it for hours, and the clouds would keep shifting, never hurried, never still. Light fades into shadow, shadow into light. The planet turns slowly, revealing new waves of color and form, like a soft dream that never ends. If you were to float above it, the clouds below would seem endless. Layers upon layers of vapor drift and swirl, glowing in sunlight, fading in shadow. Lightning flashes deep within the haze, hidden like gentle sparks in a sea of mist. There are no edges here, only movement, everything in motion, yet everything calm. Even the storms, though powerful, have a strange peace. They are not angry or wild. They simply exist, part of the planet's quiet rhythm. Each swirl and wave follows its own ancient path, blending perfectly with the next. It's as if Jupiter breathes through its storms, exhaling light and color into the cold darkness around it. When you look at Jupiter through a telescope, it feels like staring into something timeless. The patterns never repeat exactly, yet they always look familiar. It's a reminder that even chaos can have beauty, and that motion, when balanced, can feel like rest. In the soft blackness of space, Jupiter glows like a lantern. Its moons shimmer nearby, tiny and loyal. Together they drift around the sun, moving through silence that has lasted for billions of years. There is no rush, no noise, no end, only the slow turning of clouds, the patient breathing of a giant world. As you imagine it now, let yourself feel its stillness, that deep, steady rhythm beneath the storms. The same calm that holds those swirling clouds together can hold your thoughts too. Let them move slowly, peacefully, without effort. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the stars shimmer softly across the endless sky, a pale golden world comes into view, wide, graceful, and calm beyond measure. This is Saturn, the planet of silence and light. Around it, delicate rings circle endlessly, like ripples on still water that never fade. They shine faintly in the distance, catching sunlight and scattering it through the darkness, turning the cold void of space into something gentle and beautiful. From afar, Saturn looks almost unreal, too perfect, too calm, like a dream made of light and dust. Its rings seem solid, yet they are not. They are made of frozen pieces, ice, rock, and dust, drifting in balance, never colliding, never lost. Each fragment reflects the sun's light, and together they form a wide, soft halo that encircles the planet with quiet grace. The rings move in harmony, each one turning at its own pace, each grain following an invisible path written by gravity and time. You could watch them for hours, and they would never rush, never stumble. They move like breath, slow and rhythmic, steady as the beating of a peaceful heart. Saturn itself turns slowly beneath them, a planet of pale gold, wrapped in bands of mist and shadow. The sunlight glows softly across its surface, and the rings cast in lines of shadow that slide gently across its face. From above, the sight would steal your breath, a world surrounded by light that looks almost like a painting made by the quietest artist in the universe. Each ring is made of countless fragments, yet together they create perfect order. The gaps between them are wide and dark, like pauses between notes in a soft melody. There is no sound here, but if silence could sing, this would be its song, calm, even, endless. The ice within the ring sparkles faintly, glinting like tiny mirrors turning in slow motion. It's as if time itself slows down near Saturn, letting beauty stretch into eternity. Imagine drifting near those rings, watching them move beneath you, a silver ocean frozen in place. The pieces would glimmer like diamonds scattered in sunlight, each one spinning quietly on its own path. The light would touch your face and fade, touch again and fade again, like the rhythm of waves. There are moons nearby too, small companions that dance around Saturn, weaving between the rings, pulling at them gently with invisible hands. Some moons shape the edges, keeping the pattern smooth and perfect. Together, they create a balance so delicate it feels sacred. Gravity, motion, and light all working in silent harmony. From Earth, when you see Saturn through a telescope, its rings look thin, almost fragile. But up close, they stretch wide, thousands of miles across, yet barely as thick as a single mountain. Such vastness, held together by peace. Nothing shouts here. Nothing fights. The rings simply exist, quiet and bright, following their ancient paths with patience. In the cold stillness of space, Saturn glows softly, like a lantern lit for no one but the stars. The sun's rays fall across the rings, turning them gold and silver, then fade into shadow again. It's a cycle without end. Light, dark, light again. A rhythm that continues without pause, without need, without sound. If you listen in your imagination, you might hear it, not a song, but a feeling. The hush of balance, the hum of stillness, the peace of something so vast, yet so fragile, moving forever in silence. Saturn's rings remind us that beauty doesn't always need noise. It can live quietly, suspended in calm, untouched by time. And as you imagine those frozen ripples circling through the dark, let that same stillness settle into your thoughts. Let your breath slow, your body soften. You are part of that same harmony, quiet, weightless, drifting in gentle motion through space. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you travel farther into the quiet darkness, the sunlight grows dim and cool. Ahead, a pale blue world turns softly, slow, silent, and unlike any other. This is Uranus, the dreaming giant. It does not spin upright like the others. Instead, it rolls gently on its side, as if resting in an endless sleep. Its motion is calm, its rhythm unbroken, a world that seems to dream as it turns. From far away, Uranus glows like a marble of soft blue-green light. Its color comes from the gases in its sky, cold layers of mist that scatter the sunlight into something delicate and serene. No bright storms swirl here, no loud patterns of color, only smooth calm across its face, like the surface of a frozen sea. The sunlight that reaches it is faint and pale, but it is enough to give the planet a quiet shimmer, the look of distant ice catching morning light. Because it rolls on its side, Uranus moves differently than any other planet. Its poles point almost directly toward the sun, so its seasons last for decades. For half of its long year, one side basks in a soft, endless day, while the other sleeps beneath an equally endless night. Then, slowly, the planet tilts the other way, and the cycle reverses, night becoming day, day becoming night. Time here does not rush. It stretches, drifts, and flows like a dream that never ends. You can imagine standing near it, watching the horizon fade into pale mist. The sun would look small, no brighter than a distant star, and the light would feel thin, almost weightless. The sky would glow faintly turquoise, quiet and empty. There would be no sound, no waves, no wind you could hear, only the soft hum of a planet turning sideways through eternity. The winds high in its clouds move faster than any storm on Earth, but from this distance, their speed feels slow, almost gentle. You would see faint streaks and layers shifting like whispers, blending into one another. Nothing about Uranus feels hurried. It turns with the patience of something ancient and wise, unbothered by time. Its moons follow too, circling at odd angles, tilted just like their parent. They look small and loyal, gliding through the pale light like tiny dreams orbiting a greater one. Together, they drift through the dark in perfect balance, keeping their quiet watch over the sleeping giant. Uranus reminds us that there is no single way to move through the universe. While the other planets spin upright, it follows its own rhythm, lying on its side, peaceful and sure. It is a planet that teaches stillness, a place where motion feels like rest, and where even time seems to slow down to listen. As it drifts around the sun, its long journey takes 84 Earth years to complete. For an entire human lifetime, it moves through just one cycle of seasons, a long, patient turning that feels more like breathing than spinning. In the silence of space, Uranus continues its slow roll, glowing softly against the black. It dreams its quiet dreams, never waking, never rushing, carrying the peace of distance and the weightlessness of time. Now, as you imagine that tilted world drifting through the stars, let its calm motion fill you. Let your thoughts turn slowly, gently, without effort. Time will stretch for you too, long, soft, endless, as you drift deeper into rest. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep tonight. As you drift beyond the last familiar planets, the light of the sun fades into a faint shimmer behind you. Ahead, the universe grows deeper, darker, and quieter, and within that stillness floats a blue world, distant and calm. This is Neptune, the far edge of the solar family, where time moves like a whisper and space feels endless. Neptune glows with a deep, serene blue, not sharp or cold, but soft, like the color of twilight just before night fully falls. Its surface is not solid, only layers upon layers of cloud, each one flowing slowly over the next. The sunlight that reaches as far is weak and pale, yet it still touches the planet's face with a quiet glow, turning it into a soft sapphire drifting in the dark. Winds move across Neptune's atmosphere, strong and wide, but from here, they seem gentle, smooth currents shaping waves of cloud that drift like flowing silk. The storms that form their spin slowly, endlessly, like circles drawn on water that never fade. Each one moves with purpose but never haste, carrying the rhythm of something ancient, something peaceful. Sometimes a dark patch appears, a great storm wandering across the blue surface, surrounded by bright white clouds that swirl like brushstrokes of foam on an ocean. The winds that form it are fast beyond measure, yet the motion feels calm, steady, and dreamlike. It is the rhythm of the farthest world still singing softly, the last note in a long lullaby of light. If you could float near Neptune, the light would be faint, the sun no larger than a tiny star in the distance. The air would glow in soft shades of blue and gray, cool and endless. You would hear nothing, no echo, no hum, just a quiet pulse of movement, like the slow breathing of the universe itself. The clouds would stretch far below you, their tops shining faintly, their depths hidden by mist. Around Neptune, faint rings circle like traces of forgotten ripples. Thin, dim, and graceful. Small moons follow gentle orbits nearby, moving silently through the blue glow. Each one reflects a little light, drifting like slow-moving snowflakes around a calm sea. It is hard to imagine time here. A single year on Neptune lasts for more than a human lifetime. Seasons unfold so slowly they seem like dreams drifting between centuries. There is no rush, no end, only the patient turning of clouds and the steady heartbeat of the planet as it circles the sun from far away. In this distant place, you feel how quiet the universe can be. The stars look closer, the dark feels deeper, and yet everything is peaceful. Neptune's beauty lies in its stillness, a world so far that even its storms seem hushed, their motions softened by distance. It is a final breath of the solar system, gentle and steady, fading into the endless dark beyond. Imagine standing at the edge of that deep blue horizon, watching clouds drift slowly under faint sunlight. The silence would be complete. The feeling would not be loneliness, but peace, the calm of knowing that motion never truly ends, that even the farthest world still dances to the same quiet song of gravity and light. Now, let that thought stay with you. The image of a soft blue world turning in silence, storms moving gently across its surface, light fading slowly through its calm air. The same rhythm that guides Neptune through space can guide your breath, your heartbeat, your thoughts. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep tonight. As you float farther from the glowing warmth of the sun, the light begins to fade into the deep dark. The planets are behind you now, and ahead lies a quiet, frozen wilderness, a region of drifting ice and ancient shadows. This is the Kuiper Belt, the outer garden of the solar system. It stretches far beyond Neptune, filled with countless tiny worlds made of rock, ice, and memory. Hey, time slows until it almost stops. The sunlight that reaches as far is weak, no brighter than a soft golden whisper. Yet every fragment of ice still catches it, reflecting tiny glimmers that shine like distant stars. These frozen travelers drift together through the dark, each moving on its own long, curved path around the sun. Some are as small as mountains, others as wide as continents, all cold, all ancient, all quiet. Among them moves Pluto, once called the ninth planet, Now a small world among many. It glows faintly, its surface wrapped in frost and shadow. From this distance, it seems lonely, but there is beauty in that loneliness, a calm solitude that belongs only to the far edges of the sun's light. Pluto drifts slowly along its long, oval path, sometimes closer to the sun, sometimes farther away, always patient, always steady. Its surface is made of frozen nitrogen and methane, glowing faintly in pale shades of gold and pink. There are mountains of ice, valleys carved by time, and plains so smooth they seem untouched since the beginning. When sunlight reaches Pluto, it sparkles softly, like morning light falling across frozen glass. No sound breaks the stillness. The air is so thin it can barely move, and the cold is so deep it feels endless. Yet in that silence, there is peace, a stillness that feels almost holy. Pluto is not alone. Around it moves its moon, Charon, large enough to almost share its size, a quiet partner in orbit. Together they circle one another like two dancers moving slowly in an infinite waltz. Their motion is gentle, balanced, and eternal. Each keeps the same face toward the other, bound by gravity, bound by time. In that delicate dance, there's harmony, the kind that can only exist in places untouched by hurry or sound. Beyond Pluto, other small worlds drift, Eris, Haumea, Makemake, and many more. Each follows its own path, circling the sun from far away, their journeys taking centuries to complete. Some are round, some are strange and uneven, their surfaces gleaming faintly in the weak light. They have been moving like this for billions of years, quiet travelers at the edge of the solar sea. The Kuiper Belt is a place of beginnings, remnants of the early solar system, pieces that never joined to form planets. They are like memories frozen in time, holding traces of what the universe once was. The dust and ice drifting here are the same materials that built the worlds, the same particles that once circled the newborn sun. If you were to float through this region, you would feel the silence pressing all around you, not heavy, but endless. The stars would look sharp and close, the sun only a bright point far behind. The space between these frozen worlds is vast, but the emptiness feels peaceful, like the quiet between heartbeats. Each tiny object moves faithfully along its invisible path, pulled gently by gravity, glowing faintly as light brushes across its surface. Even here, so far from warmth, there's beauty. The cold brings stillness, and the distance brings calm. Nothing rushes. Nothing fades. The tiny worlds drift like slow-moving snowflakes through an eternal winter, their silence filling the edges of creation. The Kuiper Belt reminds us that the universe does not end. It simply becomes quieter, softer, deeper. Beyond the light, there is still motion, still life, still grace. Each small world carries its own secret rhythm, its own soft glow, like a whisper saying that even in the farthest dark, the story continues. Now, imagine that frozen light flickering far away, a faint sparkle across endless space, shining softly and fading slowly. Let that image fill you with calm. You, too, are part of this great motion, small, quiet, drifting gently through time. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the last warmth of sunlight fades into the distance, imagine a tiny world drifting through the farthest edges of space. This is Pluto, small, quiet, and endlessly patient. It moves slowly on its long path around the sun, taking more than a lifetime to complete a single year. Yet it does not hurry. Pluto's rhythm is calm, steady, and timeless, as though it exists outside of time itself. From far away, it glimmers faintly, a pale dot among the stars, glowing softly with borrowed light. The sunlight that reaches it has traveled for hours, arriving weak and golden, but still enough to make the frozen plain sparkle. Up close, Pluto looks like a dream sculpted from ice. Its surface shines with shades of white, faint pink, and pale blue, colors so soft they seem to breathe. It is a world carved by stillness, where mountains are made of solid water, and air freezes into snow that falls gently, grain by grain. At its center lies a great heart-shaped plain, made of nitrogen ice, smooth and endless. When the sun's light touches it, the surface glows faintly, like frozen glass catching the morning. This is Pluto's frozen heart, vast, motionless, but alive with quiet beauty. It shifts ever so slightly with time, The ice is flowing slowly, like a heartbeat that takes centuries to complete a single pulse. It is not cold in spirit, only calm, a heart that endures rather than beats. The air here is thin and fragile, barely more than a breath, but it shimmers in sunlight. When Pluto moves closer to the sun during its long orbit, some of that frozen air lifts, becoming a soft haze around the world. When it drifts away again, the air freezes back onto the surface, like a slow exhale turning to frost. Every cycle is peaceful, nothing wasted, nothing rushed. Above it, the sky is dark but filled with stars, sharp and endless. Sometimes its large moon, Charon, rises slowly and never sets. The two are locked in a quiet embrace, always facing each other as they turn. You could stand there and watch the same face of Charon hovering in the same part of the sky, glowing softly with faint sunlight reflected from far, far away. Together they drift like two companions, keeping each other company through eternity. The ground beneath would crunch gently beneath your feet, each step leaving a mark that might last a century before the winds erase it. There is no sound, only the soft hum of distance, the slow pull of gravity, the faint light of the sun glinting across a horizon that curves into infinity. It feels like standing at the edge of everything, where time itself moves slower, where silence becomes a kind of song. Pluto's journey around the sun is so long that when it began its last orbit, many generations of humans had not yet been born. It moves with a patience that only space can teach, a kind of stillness that is not empty but full of peace. Every moment on Pluto stretches wide and quiet, every day unfolding gently into the next. And yet, despite its remoteness, Pluto is not forgotten. Its light still reaches us, tiny but clear, reminding us that beauty exists even in the coldest corners of the universe. It tells us that distance does not mean loneliness, that calm can be found even in darkness, and that slow journeys can still carry grace. Now, as you imagine that small, shining world drifting through the dark, feel its patience settle into you. Let your breath move like Pluto's orbit, slow, deep, timeless. The same quiet peace that fills that frozen world can fill you too. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the sky stretches endlessly above you, imagine a soft light moving across the stars, not a star itself, not a planet, but something wandering, something fleeting. This is a comet, a glowing traveler from the far edges of the solar system. It comes quietly, carrying the memory of deep space in its icy heart, and then, just as gently, it fades back into the dark. Comets are made of ancient dust and frozen gases, fragments left over from the birth of the planets, drifting for billions of years in the cold beyond the sun. Most of the time, they sleep in silence, circling through the black stillness where sunlight cannot reach. But sometimes, a faint pull draws them inward. The sun calls softly, and the comet begins to move, slowly at first, then faster, its long journey beginning once again. As it draws closer, warmth touches its surface for the first time in centuries. Ice begins to turn into vapor, and the comet wakes. A halo of glowing mist forms around it, called a coma, a soft, ghostly sphere of light. From this mist grows a shining tail, stretching for millions of miles behind, made of gas and dust glowing in the sunlight. The comet no longer hides. It becomes a moving flame across the heavens, a messenger of motion and light. From Earth, when you see one passing, it feels like a dream made real, a streak of white or pale blue crossing the sky, silent and bright. It moves slowly to the eye, but in truth, it races through space at incredible speed. Yet nothing about it feels rushed. Its light seems gentle, flowing, patient, as though time itself slows down to watch. Each comet carries its own story. Some visit once in a lifetime, others return again and again, following vast, curved orbits that take hundreds of years to complete. Halley's Comet, for example, comes back every 7 to 6 years, bright enough to be seen even without a telescope, appearing to one generation and disappearing before the next. It had been seen by ancient kings, by poets, by travelers long gone, and one day it will return again, shining for new eyes under a different sky. Comets remind us that everything moves in cycles, that what fades does not vanish, that what departs may return. Their paths are long and lonely, but always connected, always part of the same great motion that keeps the planets, moons, and stars turning together. As a comet nears the sun, its light grows stronger. The tail stretches farther, glowing like a veil of silver silk trailing across the sky. It bends slightly away, shaped by the wind of particles streaming from the sun. Even from far away, it looks alive, breathing, glowing, changing with every heartbeat of light. And then, as the comet begins to move away again, the sunlight fades, the warmth weakens, and the glow begins to disappear. The tail shortens, the halo fades, and the comet falls silent once more. It drifts back into the cold, into the quiet dark beyond Neptune, where it will sleep for centuries, waiting for another call from the sun. If you could follow it, you would see it move through fields of stars, past planets and moons, through light and shadow, carrying nothing but peace. It leaves no sound, no mark, only the memory of its passing, a reminder how small, beautiful, and temporary all things can be. Ancient people once looked up at comets with awe and wonder. They called them messengers, signs, omens, lights from the gods, or travelers between worlds. But perhaps they are simply reminders that the universe is alive, breathing, changing, and returning, just like us. So tonight, as you imagine a comet drifting across the night, let it remind you of motion, the gentle, endless rhythm that connects all things. The same cycle that carries a comet through the dark carries you, too, through your days, your dreams, your moments of light and rest. The universe never stops moving, but it never hurries. It breathes, just as you do now, calm, even, timeless. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you drift between the orbits of worlds, imagine a space filled not with emptiness but with small, patient travelers. They are asteroids and meteors, quiet stones wandering through the sunlight and shadow, each one a tiny piece of the universe's oldest story. They move without sound, without hurry, following invisible powers written long before the Earth was born. Most of them are small, some no larger than a mountain, others only as wide as a house or pebble. Yet each carries a memory of creation, a fragment from when the planets were still forming, when dust and fire filled the newborn solar system. These stones are the leftovers of that beginning, the quiet witnesses of time itself. They drift gently between Mars and Jupiter, forming what we call the asteroid belt, a wide, calm sea of rocks circling the sun. To look upon it from afar is to see harmony in motion, countless stones moving together in slow rhythm, never colliding, never lost. Each one glows softly in the distant sunlight, turning slowly as it drifts. The light touches their rough surfaces, bringing out shades of gray, red, and gold. Sometimes, one breaks away, drawn by gravity's whisper toward a new path. It begins to wander closer to the inner planets, where the warmth of the sun grows stronger. As it travels, it spins slowly, like a dream caught between stillness and motion. These travelers are not dangerous here. They are gentle messengers, reminders of how everything in space, no matter how small, has its place. And sometimes, when a tiny fragment enters Earth's sky, it becomes a meteor, a streak of light across the night. It burns gently as it falls, glowing for only a moment before fading into the dark. People look up and make wishes when they see it, not realizing they are watching a grain of cosmic dust return to light. The glow lasts for seconds, but the journey has lasted billions of years. The larger asteroids continue their calm orbits, turning endlessly in sunlight and shadow. Some are rough and jagged, others smooth like river stones. Their surfaces hold craters from long-forgotten collisions, but even those scars are peaceful now, marks of endurance rather than harm. The silence around them is vast and comforting, a stillness that feels eternal. A few asteroids carry small moons of their own, orbiting slowly around them like companions that never leave. They drift together, balanced perfectly in the pull of gravity, sharing their quiet journey through space. Their motion is not random. It is precise, patient, and full of grace. These little travelers remind us that even the smallest things can hold great meaning. Each one was formed from the same dust that built the planets, the same particles that now lie within your body, your breath, your world. The story of creation did not end. It simply kept moving, slowly, gently, across the vastness of time. Imagine now that you are floating among them, surrounded by soft light and silent motion. You see rocks gliding past, each turning in its own rhythm, glowing faintly in the sun's reflection. There is no noise, no gravity pulling you down, only drifting, only calm. The sunlight feels timeless here, golden and endless, wrapping everything in peace. And somewhere, far ahead, a meteor breaks free, a small stone leaving one world for another, ready to glow for a moment in some faraway sky. It reminds you that everything moves in circles: birth, drift, return, and rest. Nothing is ever lost, only change. Now, as you breathe softly, imagine those tiny travelers moving through the dark, patient, eternal, unhurried. The same stillness that holds them can hold you too. Let yourself drift in that quiet rhythm, slow, weightless, infinite. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you rest beneath the soft glow of stars, imagine going back in time, far beyond memory, far beyond life itself, to when the solar system was only a dream made of dust and light. There were no planets then, no worlds, no orbits, only a vast cloud floating in the dark, silent, endless, and full of possibility. Within that cloud, particles of dust drifted together, moving slowly through the faint light of a young sun that was just beginning to burn. The air, if you could call it air, was made of gas and shimmering grains of matter, glowing faintly like mist caught in sunlight. Everything moved in circles, drawn by invisible forces, turning softly in a rhythm older than time. At first, it was chaos, but not the kind that frightens. It was a calm kind of chaos, gentle motion, countless grains colliding, joining, separating, and joining again. Slowly, the dust began to gather into clumps. Each tiny piece pulled on the next, held together by gravity, the quiet pull that binds all things. Over thousands of years, small pieces became larger ones, pebbles became boulders, and boulders became mountains drifting in space. The dance of creation had begun. Around the newborn sun, rings of material formed, wide, glowing bands spinning in silence. Within these bands, the collisions continued. Every touch, every spark of movement, shaped the beginnings of worlds. The early planets grew slowly, patient and steady. They were still soft then, still changing, still finding their shape. Some became rocky, others captured gases and grew huge and light. But all of them, large and small, were born from the same cloud of dust and light. You can imagine it now, the young solar system, glowing softly in the dark. The sun burned brighter each day, its warmth spreading outward, guiding everything around it. The inner regions became home to smaller, solid planets, where heat shaped stone and metal into worlds like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Farther out, in the cold beyond, gases gathered to form giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, vast worlds with soft hearts and swirling atmospheres. Beyond them, tiny icy bodies drifted, quiet and distant, the leftovers of creation's first song. There was no sound during this forming, only the slow turning of dust clouds and the silent glow of gathering light. Every grain of matter was part of a dance that lasted for millions of years. The orbits began to settle, the collisions grew fewer, and the chaos gave way to balance. The solar system, calm, ordered, beautiful, emerged like a melody reaching its gentle final note. Even now, after billions of years, the planets still follow those same ancient paths. Their orbits are the footprint of that creation, lines drawn by the invisible hand of gravity. The sun still burns at the center, its warmth a quiet reminder of how it all began. And the dust that didn't become planets still lingers in the dark, drifting between worlds, shimmering when light touches it, a soft echo of the past. If you look up at the stars tonight, you're seeing that same story written across the sky. Countless other suns surrounded by their own clouds of dust and light, forming new families of planets. The process never truly ends. Creation is always happening somewhere, quietly, patiently, without rush. Everything you see, everything you touch, was once part of that same stardust. The atoms in your body were born from the same materials that formed the earth, the moon, and the stars above. You are part of the same story, a small, beautiful piece of an ancient dance that still continues. So as you breathe now, slowly and calmly, imagine those first clouds swirling in the dark, dust turning to stone, stone turning to worlds, light filling the silence. The same calm that shaped the planets flows through you too, gentle, steady, timeless. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep tonight. As you drift through the quiet sea of space, imagine a place where light has not yet begun, where everything is soft shadow and slow motion. The air, if there were any, would feel thick with stillness. This is where stars are born, not with fire or noise, but with silence and patience, deep inside vast clouds of gas and dust. These clouds are enormous, stretching for light years across the sky, floating between the stars like soft, glowing mist. They are made of hydrogen, helium, and tiny grains of dust, the simplest things, yet the ones from which everything begins. From far away, they look peaceful, like faint gray smoke drifting through space. Up close, they are full of quiet movement, tiny current of gas weaving together, touching, separating, and rejoining, guided by an unseen hand. At first, the cloud seems weightless, but slowly, gravity begins to whisper. A faint pull draws one particle closer to another, then another. Over time, the cloud starts to gather, its center becoming just a little denser, a little warmer. There is no rush. This takes millions of years. The cloud drifts and folds inward, its own gravity pulling it tighter, forming knots of gas that thicken with every passing age. These knots become the seeds of stars. As they grow, the pressure inside them rises quietly. The atoms inside begin to move faster, rubbing together, creating heat. In the beginning, the warmth is small, gentle, steady, like breath in the cold. The surrounding gas glows faintly, a soft blush of light spreading through the darkness. It is the first sign of something new, a star waking from the calm of emptiness. Inside, hydrogen atoms begin to join, fusing into helium. Each meeting releases a little energy, a little light. The star's heart starts to burn, not with flames, but with fusion, a silent dance of atoms turning into radiance. The warmth spreads outward, filling the surrounding cloud, pushing gently against the darkness that once held it. The star has found its balance, gravity pulling inward, light pushing outward, a perfect harmony that can last for billions of years. Around the young star, the leftover dust and gas begin to swirl. They flatten into a wide, thin disk that glows faintly in the newborn light. Within that disk, tiny grains begin to meet, joining together in slow spirals. Planets, moons, and comets begin to take shape, each one born from the quiet motion of the same materials that form the star itself. The universe, which once seemed empty, now glows with new light and new worlds, all born from stillness. If you could stand near one of these newborn stars, you would see a cloud glowing softly, pink, gold, and blue, colors blending like watercolor in the airless dark. Streams of gas would drift outward in thin ribbons, shimmering as they move. The light would be gentle, not yet bright, like a lantern seen through fog. There would be no sound, only calm, the sense of something beginning, something timeless and kind. These star nurseries, as astronomers call them, still exist all across the universe. Some of the most beautiful, like the Orion Nebula or the Pillars of Creation, can be seen from Earth through telescopes, their shapes stretching across the sky like dreams. Each light within them marks a birth, a star just beginning its long journey, shining for the first time. And when you look at the stars above you tonight, every one of them was once part of a cloud like this. Every one of them began as dust and gas, pulled together by quiet gravity and warmed by the soft first glow of creation. Even our own sun was once a newborn star, hidden within its own cloud of light. In the calm of space, stars are born, live, and eventually fade, and yet the cycle never ends. From the ashes of old stars, new ones rise. The universe breathes, endlessly, through these gentle beginnings. So as you rest, imagine those soft clouds gathering in the dark, the first flicker of light blooming quietly within them. Feel that warmth inside you too, the steady, peaceful energy of creation itself. You are made of the same light, the same dust, the same calm beginnings. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep tonight. As the air cools and the world grows still, look up at the sky. The stars are steady, quiet, and far, but then, for just a moment, one moves. A bright streak of light crosses the darkness and fades. It is gone almost as soon as it appeared, but something about it feels magical, like the sky itself took a gentle breath. That is a meteor, a tiny visitor from space, burning softly as it glides through the atmosphere. Meteors are not stars, though they are often called shooting stars. They are small pieces of ancient rock and dust, wandering through space for billions of years. Some are no larger than a grain of sand, others the size of a pebble. They drift quietly between the planets until, one night, they meet the thin air surrounding our Earth. And when they do, they glow not from fire, but from speed and warmth. As they fall toward Earth, the air around them compresses and heats, turning invisible friction into light. The stone itself glows for a heartbeat, painting a silver or golden line across the night before fading into nothing. They do not crash to the ground. Most are far too small. They simply burn away, leaving behind a trail that shines and disappears, like a whisper that never needed to be spoken. Sometimes there is just one, sudden and lonely, slipping across the sky when no one is looking. Other times, they come in showers, dozens, hundreds, streaming across the heavens in gentle arcs. The Perseids, the Leonids, the Geminids, each one a return of old travelers, pieces of comets that left behind dust in their paths. Every year, as Earth moves through those trails, we are visited again by their soft rain of light. Watching meteors has always felt like magic because it connects the ground to the sky. You might be standing barefoot on cool grass, or wrapped in a blanket on a quiet hill, and yet for a few seconds, you are part of something vast. Each streak reminds you that even the smallest things can shine, that movement itself can be beautiful, that time is always flowing gently onward. There's something humbling in knowing what they truly are, fragments of creation, drifting for ages before finding their brief moment of light. Some have circled the sun for millions of years, passing unseen through darkness until one night, they meet our world, touch the air, and burn softly in farewell. The glow of a meteor is gentle, never harsh. It moves fast, but it feels calm, a smooth glide through the sky, so graceful it seems alive. It doesn't fall. It floats, tracing the invisible curve of the atmosphere. And in that motion, it carries the same peace as everything else in the universe. Stars orbiting, planets turning, comets drifting. If you close your eyes after watching one, you can still feel it, a soft afterglow behind your eyelids, like memory made of light. It's the kind of beauty that lasts only a moment but stays in the heart much longer. The next time you see a meteor, let it remind you that the world is full of quiet visitors, small, shining things that appear without warning, offering a glimpse of wonder before fading back into the dark. You might even make a wish, not because the light can grant it, but because it connects you to something eternal, the endless motion of the sky. Now, imagine those tiny stones drifting above you, glowing softly as they move through the thin air, leaving trails that fade into calm. Let that image linger, a reminder that even in the vast silence of space, beauty still finds a way to appear, softly, briefly, perfectly. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you float quietly through the calm dark of space, imagine looking back at all the worlds that circle our sun. Each one glows with its own soft color, red, blue, green, gold. They shine not because they want to be seen, but because of what they are made of. Each hue tells a story, chemistry turned into beauty, matter turned into light. Mars glows red, gentle and warm, like the color of embers under fading firelight. Its surface is covered in iron dust, tiny grains that have rusted over ages, painting the planet in soft shades of crimson and copper. When the sun's light touches it, that dust reflects a faint orange glow, making Mars look like a glowing coal drifting through the dark. The winds that move slowly across deserts and valleys, stirring that red dust into motion, giving the planet its heartbeat of color. Its redness is not from heat, but from time, from the way minerals age in silence, turning stone into something that feels almost alive. Farther out, Neptune glows blue, deep, calm, endless. Its color comes from gases in its thick atmosphere, especially methane, which gently filters sunlight, letting only the bluest light escape back into space. But it is not just science that makes Neptune beautiful. Its blue feels peaceful, like the color of faraway dreams. It seems to hum quietly with the rhythm of distance, a calm that comes from knowing the world moves slowly, endlessly, untouched by noise or haste. The winds that swirl gently through layers of cloud, carrying softness rather than fury, turning the entire planet into a blue pearl drifting on invisible waves. And then there's Earth, green and blue, bright and alive. From space, it looks like a marble painted with oceans and forests, clouds and light. Its blue comes from the way air and water scatter sunlight, bending it into the color of calm seas and open skies. Its green comes from life, from the tiny leaves that drink in sunlight and breathe out air, covering mountains and plains with color and movement. No other planet glows quite like this one. Earth's colors are soft but living, shifting gently with seasons and weather, the pale blue of morning mist, the deep green of forests, the white of drifting clouds, the gold of evening light. Each world holds its color the way a person holds a memory, shaped by what it's made of, but glowing with something more. Venus shines pale and golden, wrapped in clouds that catch sunlight and scatter it softly. Jupiter swirls with bands of cream and amber, its storms moving like slow waves of paint. Saturn glows like a golden lantern surrounded by silver rings, and Uranus, with its pale turquoise face, turns softly on its side, reflecting light like frosted glass. All these colors come from the same sun, the same light that left home and traveled millions of miles to touch each planet in its own way. The light does not choose favorites. It simply reveals what is already there. On Mars, it becomes warm and red. On Neptune, cool and blue. On Earth, full and alive. The same light, many stories. When you look up at the night sky, you can't see those colors with your eyes, but they are there, hidden in the glow of points too small to touch. The universe paints with patience, using time, gravity, and silence instead of brushes. Every shade, every glow, is a record of calm chemistry, a story of atoms resting, joining, and reflecting. And maybe, in some quiet way, we carry those colors too. The red of courage, the blue of thought, the green of grace, echoes of the same beauty written into the stars and the worlds that move around them. Now, as you imagine those colors swirling softly through the dark, let them fill you, the warm red of Mars, the deep blue of Neptune, the living green and blue of Earth. They are reminders that even in the vastness of space, beauty is born from calm and patience. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep tonight. As you rest beneath the quiet stars, imagine sunlight drifting through space, slow, soft, endless. It has no sound, no weight, yet it moves across billions of miles to touch every world, every moon, every curve of rock and cloud. The light travels gently, never rushing, spreading warmth wherever it goes. It turns darkness into color, shadow into shape, and when it reaches a planet, it creates something simple and beautiful, the difference between day and night. On every world, the sun rises and falls in its own time. The light touches one side while the other side rests in shadow, and together they form a rhythm as old as creation, bright and dark, morning and evening, motion and stillness. On Earth, this dance feels familiar, dawn painting the sky with gold, the slow warmth of day growing over mountains and seas, then the soft fading of light as the sun sinks and night returns. But this is not just our rhythm. Every planet turns to meet and part from the sun in its own slow spin, sharing in the same silent balance of light and dark. On Mercury, the sun appears vast and fierce, rising over a horizon of pale stone. Days there are long and bright, but the nights are just as long, frozen and calm. On Mars, the daylight glows pink and soft, and when the sun sets, the sky fades into a gentle violet. Even the gas giants, wrapped in clouds, feel the sun's light in faint reflections, a soft shimmer on Saturn's rings, a distant glint across Jupiter's swirling storms. Light gives every world its moment of warmth. Shadows give every world its rest. Without one, the other would lose meaning. The line that separates day from night, the twilight line, slides slowly across the surface of every planet, a moving border of calm. It is there, in that quiet zone between brightness and darkness, that the softest beauty lives. The gold of evening, the blue of early dawn, the gentle silver that leads away into rest. Sometimes, when one world moves between another and the sun, the light bends and breaks, and shadows stretch across space. These moments are called eclipses, small, perfect alignments that show how connected everything truly is. A solar eclipse happens when the moon passes in front of the sun, casting its shadow gently upon the earth. The light fades, the air cools, and for a few peaceful minutes, the world becomes still. Birds grow silent, winds pause, and people everywhere lift their eyes to see day turn into night. The sun's edges glow like a silver crown, shining through the shadow. Then, slowly, the light returns, calm, patient, as if the universe is taking a soft breath before continuing its song. A lunar eclipse happens the other way, when the Earth moved between the sun and the moon, letting its shadow touch the moon's bright face. From Earth, the moon darkens, turning shades of copper and red as sunlight bends through the edge of our atmosphere. It's not frightening, it's peaceful, like watching the sky change color in slow motion. For a little while, the moon wears the color of sunset, glowing quietly before returning to its silver light. Eclipses remind us that even shadows are part of harmony. They show how light and dark move together, not in opposition but in balance. The same sunlight that warms your skin by day also glows faintly on the moon at night. The same shadow that darkens one world gives shape and beauty to another. If you could float above the solar system, you would see this great exchange, sunlight touching one side of every planet, shadows trailing gently behind. You would see curves of light sliding across round worlds, shining oceans, glowing rings, and moonlit clouds. Everywhere, the same soft rhythm, turning, glowing, resting. The light never hurries. It knows every world will come back to meet it again. And the shadows never last forever. They are simply the places where light is waiting to return. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine that golden sunlight traveling silently across the void, touching each planet in turn, wrapping them in gentle warmth before moving on. Imagine the shadows following softly behind, like a blanket drawn over a sleeping world. Both are needed, both are peace. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the Earth turns softly beneath the stars, imagine the slow rhythm of time that moves through the universe, not in seconds or minutes, but in seasons. The planets do not simply circle the sun. They lean gently as they turn, tilting toward and away from the light. This simple tilt is what creates a quiet pulse of seasons, summer and winter, spring and autumn, the soft breathing of every world that spins. The Earth tilts at an angle, not straight up like a spinning top, but slightly leaning, as if bowing to the sun. Because of that tilt, different parts of the planet take turns facing the warmth. When the northern half leans toward the sun, the days grow long, the light feels golden, and summer unfolds. At the same time, the southern half leans away, resting in cooler air and longer nights, a gentle winter. Then, slowly, the balance shifts. The Earth moves forward in its orbit, and the light trades places. One side rests while the other awakens. You can think of it like a dance, not fast, not loud, but graceful and steady. The Earth turns, the sun glows, and together they weave time into cycles. No season is separate. Each flows into the next, like the blending of colors at the edge of twilight. The tilt of other planets creates their own soft rhythms too. On Mars, the same gentle lean gives rise to dusty summers and cold winters. On Saturn, the tilt makes its golden rings glow at different angles through the years, sometimes bright, sometimes hidden. Uranus, lying on its side, takes this rhythm to an extreme, each of its poles resting in sunlight for decades before turning into shadow again. Every world is its own version of time, its own dreamlike pattern of light and rest. Here on Earth, we feel those changes with our senses. Spring brings a hush of rain and the green breath of new leaves. Summer glows with warmth and slow evenings filled with golden air. Autumn drifts in quietly, soft wind scattering leaves like embers. Winter arrives with stillness, turning the world to silver and silence. Each season holds its own peace, its own kind of light, its own reminder that nothing stays the same, and that change can be gentle. From space, the seasons look like color and shadow moving across the planet's surface. Snow retreating from mountains, forests deepening into green, deserts glowing in the afternoon sun. The same sunlight touches all, yet it feels different in every place and time. If you could watch the Earth for a year from far away, you would see it breathe, leaning, turning, leaning again, a slow motion so graceful it feels almost like sleep. The sunlight spreads and fades, returns and fades again, and in that cycle life finds its rhythm. Even beyond our world, this pattern continues. Every tilt, every orbit, every turn is part of the same great calm, a universe in quiet motion. So tonight, let yourself feel that same rhythm inside you, a slow, patient turning of time. Seasons change, light returns, rest follows warmth. Everything moves, but nothing is ever truly lost. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the stars rest quietly above and the planets drift along their paths, imagine a soft thread weaving through all of space, invisible, gentle, but unbreakable. This thread is gravity. It does not shout. It does not push or pull with anger. It holds everything together with quiet patience, the way love holds hearts close even when they are far apart. Gravity is not a force that commands. It is a promise whispered between every piece of matter in the universe, a promise to stay connected. Every planet feels it. Every moon, every comet, every grain of dust carries its touch. Even light, the fastest traveler of all, bends slightly when it passes near something heavy, as if bowing in respect to this ancient bond. The sun, with its warm and steady light, holds all the planets near with this silent embrace. Earth, small and shining, follows its path around the sun not because it is trapped, but because it is loved, guided, balanced, protected. The moon circles Earth the same way, loyal and constant, its motion shaped by affection that never fades. Nothing here is violent or cruel. It is all motion and harmony, orbits that last for ages, each world moving in gentle rhythm with the rest. If you could see gravity, it would look like soft lines of connection, glowing faintly between everything. The sun and its planets, the stars and their clusters, even you and the ground beneath your feet. It is what keeps oceans close to Earth, what gives weight to your body, what makes you part of this spinning world. You do not have to think about it. It simply holds you, without asking, without fail. The same gravity that keeps your feet on the Earth also keeps galaxies from falling apart. Stars gather in clusters, circling one another in quiet spirals. Great cosmic arms stretch across the sky, filled with light, dust, and life, all moving in endless balance. Every orbit, every curve, every pull is part of one great design, the universe breathing through its own calm heart. Even when stars die and collapse, gravity does not let go. It wraps them in silence, turning them into dense, sleeping forms that still shape the space around them. Some of these remnants become black holes, places where gravity folds light itself into stillness. And yet, even there, it is not destruction but transformation, another form of connection, another way of saying nothing is ever truly lost. On Earth, gravity feels simple. You drop a stone, and it falls. You lie down, and the ground holds you. But beneath that simplicity is something profound, a gentle pull between you and the planet, a constant reminder that you belong. The same pull that holds oceans to their shores holds you in your place in the cosmos. You are never separate. You are always part of the great web of things. Think of how the planets move, not forced, not pushed, but gliding in quiet trust. Gravity does not control them. It invites them. It keeps them close enough to feel warmth, far enough to remain free. That balance, that peace, is the essence of harmony. So tonight, as you close your eyes, imagine those invisible threads stretching through the universe, each one a connection of care and calm. The stars do not fall because gravity holds them softly. The earth does not drift away because it is gently embraced. You, too, are held in that same embrace, steady, weightless, safe. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the universe stretches endlessly around you, imagine a place where everything moves. Planets, moons, stars, comets, and yet there is no sound. No echoes, no voices, no wind. Space is perfectly silent. And still, it feels alive, as if everything is part of a great, invisible symphony. It is a music you cannot hear, but you can feel, a rhythm that flows through every orbit, every turn, every flicker of light. Sound needs air to travel, and space has none. Between the planets, there is only emptiness, calm, endless, weightless. But even without sound, there is motion everywhere. The Earth spins gently on its axis. The moon circles quietly around it. The planets glide around the sun like dancers in a slow, graceful waltz. Their movement creates rhythm, a pulse of time that beats across the universe. The The sun itself trembles softly, sending ripples of light and energy into space. Every star hums in its own way, not with noise, but with vibration. Each flicker, each change in brightness, is a note in the universe's quiet song. Galaxies turn like great spirals, their arms sweeping across millions of stars. Nebulae drift like the long, slow notes of a dream. Even the smallest particles move in harmony, joining the pattern. If you could somehow listen, not with ears but with your heart, you would feel it. The pulse of gravity, the rhythm of light, the steady breath of cosmic motion. The planets' orbits would sound like deep, slow tones, the spin of moons like higher, softer ones. Together, they would form layers of calm harmony, repeating endlessly through the dark. On Earth, you can sometimes feel the echo of that rhythm without realizing it. The steady rise and fall of the tides, the soft pull of the moon, the turning of the seasons, all are notes from that same silent song. Even your heartbeat moves to the same ancient tempo, born from the same laws that guide the stars. In the quiet of space, every motion has meaning. Jupiter's storms spin like drums that never stop. Saturn's rings move like shimmering chords of dust and ice. Comets sweep through the dark with long, graceful trails, like the faint sound of strings drawn across eternity. The universe does not speak, but it dances, everything connected, everything in time. When astronauts drift above the Earth, they say the silence feels alive. They can't hear the planets move, but they can see it. The turning Earth below, the sunlight rising over its edge, the moon glowing far away. It's a silence that feels sacred, full of rhythm, full of calm. And perhaps that is the most beautiful part, that you don't need sound to have music. The rhythm of existence itself is enough. Every sunrise, every orbit, every pulse of light is a note in the cosmic song. It plays without beginning or end, without noise or rush, only motion, balance, and peace. So tonight, as you breathe slowly, imagine that soundless symphony all around you. The stars are the instruments, the planets the melody, and time itself a conductor. You are part of it, too, moving, breathing, belonging to the same silent harmony that fills the universe. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as your thoughts grow still and your breath softens, imagine floating far beyond our familiar sun and planets. The light of the solar system fades behind you, and a new, greater beauty begins to appear. The Milky Way, our home among the stars. It stretches across the dark like a river of soft light, flowing gently through the endless night. You are floating within one of its arms, a small part of a vast spiral that turns in slow, graceful silence. The Milky Way is not a single line of light, but a family of hundreds of billions of stars, all moving together, each one glowing softly in its own way. From far away, the galaxy looks like a swirl of mist, a spiral turning quietly through time. But up close, it is alive with motion, suns rising and fading, planets turning, comets drifting, nebulae glowing like soft lanterns in the dark. Every spark you see in the night sky is one of these suns, scattered across the great river of light. We live in one of the Milky Way's outer arms, a long, gentle curve called the Orion Arm. It is a thin bridge of stars and gas, a quiet place between the grander spirals of Sagittarius and Perseus. Here, our sun drifts along its path like a single drop of water in a vast cosmic current. Around it, the planets circle, small and calm, unaware of the enormous journey they are part of. The entire galaxy spins slowly, one full turn taking hundreds of millions of years. Yet from where we are, it feels still, peaceful, eternal. Gravity binds the stars together like an invisible thread, keeping them close while allowing them to move freely. The way leaves drift together in a river without ever touching. Every star has its own orbit, its own pace, its own rhythm, but all belong to the same great spiral dance. If you could step back and look upon the Milky Way from afar, you would see its arms curling through space, pale and glowing, dotted with bright clusters where new stars are born. Dust and gas weave between them like silver mist. In those glowing regions, clouds collapse softly under their own weight, forming new suns, new worlds, new possibilities. Farther out, the older stars drift quietly, fading into the dark, still circling the center as they have for billions of years. At the heart of it all lies a quiet mystery, a dark center that pulls everything gently inward. Astronomers call it a black hole, but it is not an emptiness to fear. It is a place of gravity so strong that light itself bends around it, a hidden heart that keeps the galaxy turning. Around it, stars move in calm orbits, their paths shaped by its silent pull. Even here, in this vast scale, there is harmony, gravity's gentle connection extending across hundreds of thousands of light years. The light that fills the Milky Way is ancient. Some of it began its journey before humans ever walked the Earth, crossing unimaginable distances to reach your eyes tonight. Every beam that twinkles above you is a message from the past, proof that even across endless time and space, light continues on, never hurried, never lost. And in all this vastness, our solar system drifts quietly, a small spark among countless others. The sun glows softly, carrying its tiny family of planets through the galaxy's slow spiral. The stars around us shimmer like distant neighbors, some larger, some smaller, all sharing the same cosmic current. We are not fixed. We are moving, carried gently through the Milky Way like a leaf floating on a river that has no shore. If you listen with your imagination, you might sense the rhythm of this great spiral, a slow, steady pulse that feels like breathing. The stars expand and fade. The galaxy turns, the arms stretch and curve, yet the peace never breaks. The Milky Way is vast beyond understanding, and yet it feels calm, familiar, almost tender, a quiet home within the infinite. So tonight, as you rest, picture yourself drifting through that silver river of stars. Around you, the light flows softly. Beneath you, the galaxy moves with patience and grace. You are part of it. One breath, one heartbeat in an endless dance of light and time. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as you drift farther beyond the soft spiral arms of the Milky Way, imagine the quiet spaces between stars, wide, calm, and full of possibility. Out there, not so far in the grand scale of the universe, lie our neighboring worlds, suns like ours, each surrounded by their own planets, moons, and drifting dust. They shine faintly across the distance, small lights with their own stories, their own skies, their own dreams. The nearest of these suns is Proxima Centauri, glowing gently just over 4 light-years away. It is a red star, smaller, dimmer, and cooler than our sun, but it still burns with patient warmth. Around it moves a tiny planet, not so different from Earth, perhaps rocky, perhaps holding oceans hidden beneath its clouds. If you could stand there and look up, the sky would glow faintly red instead of gold, and the light would feel softer, like sunset that never ends. Farther away, other stars shimmer, Alpha Centauri, Tau Ceti, Epsilon Eridani, each with their own families of planets. Some are bright and yellow, bathing their worlds in gentle light. Others are blue-white, burning hotter and faster, their light sharp like the edge of crystal. Around them, planets spin quietly, unseen, waiting in the dark. Some might be barren and frozen, others wrapped in clouds, and a few, maybe, carry the same calm oceans and air that cradle life here on Earth. Astronomers call them exoplanets, worlds beyond our sun. We cannot yet walk on them or see their seas, but we can feel their presence in the tiny wobbles and flickers of starlight. Each one that is found adds another piece to the quiet truth. The universe is full of homes we have not yet known. Imagine one of those worlds now, a small planet orbiting a distant star. The air might shimmer with colors we have never seen, the oceans reflecting not blue, but violet or green beneath an alien sun. Clouds could drift in strange shapes, glowing in the thin atmosphere, while mountains rise from seas of light. Maybe its day lasts twice as long as ours, or its night glows with twin moons. Everything would be different, and yet the peace would feel familiar. If life exists there, it too would move with the same calm rhythm that shapes our own, tides following gravity, seasons turning softly, winds flowing over valleys and plains. Light and shadow would play across its surface, the way they do here, carrying warmth and rest. The universe repeats itself in beauty, even across impossible distances. Between these stars lies darkness, but it is not empty. Dust, light, and drifting particles weave thin trails through the void, connecting one system to another like the faint strings of an unseen harp. The space between stars hums with quiet energy, not in sound, but in rhythm, the slow pulse of gravity, light, and motion. Our sun, too, is just one of these stars, glowing gently in its small corner of the galaxy. From a distant world, it would look no different, a single point of light among thousands. Perhaps someone that might look toward it and wonder, as we do now, what lives beneath its warm glow. So tonight, as you rest, imagine the universe beyond our sun, all those neighboring stars, each surrounded by hidden worlds and quiet skies. The same light that touches your face tonight may one day touch those distant oceans too, crossing space with soft patience. We are not alone in this great calm, only part of a vast, endless family of light. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the stars shimmer softly above the turning earth, imagine the quiet hum of something small and human-made drifting far away, beyond the planets, beyond the warmth of the sun, into the deep calm of interstellar space. These are the voyagers, the pioneers, and others like them, tiny machines carrying our whispers into the stars. They move without sound, without rush, their antennas pointed back toward home, still listening, still calling softly across the vast dark. Long ago, when the world was young with curiosity, people looked up at the night sky and dreamed of reaching beyond it. We built rockets and satellites, fragile vessels of metal and light, to explore what we could not yet touch. The first to go farthest were the pioneers, small golden probes launched in the 1970s. They slipped past Jupiter and Saturn, taking the first close portraits of those distant worlds. When their work was done, they kept going, carried on by momentum and hope, into the endless silence between the stars. After them came Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, twin messengers, launched to explore the outer planets and then to travel where no human craft had gone before. They passed Jupiter's swirling storms, Saturn's shining rings, Uranus's tilted blue calm, and Neptune's dark, gentle winds. Each time, they sent back images, soft lights and colors from worlds we had only imagined. And then, as they reached the edge of the sun's influence, they crossed into the true dark, the great ocean between the stars. On each voyage is a golden record, a message from Earth. Etched into its surface are sounds and images that tell our story, the laughter of a baby, the chirping of birds, the whisper of wind and rain, greetings spoken in dozens of languages. There is music, too, the steady rhythm of drums, the calm of Bach, the longing of Beethoven. And there are pictures, mountains, oceans, people, the glow of a sunset, the curve of our planet seen from above. It is a letter written in light and sound, meant for anyone who might find it, a way of saying, we were here, and we loved this world. Even now, decades later, those spacecraft continue to move outward. They are billions of miles away, their signals faint but steady, reaching us as whispers of radio waves that take hours to arrive. Each transmission carries a piece of home, the heartbeat of a small blue planet shining under a distant Sunday. The Voyagers drift through space slower than light, yet faster than thought, crossing the invisible boundary where the solar wind ends and interstellar space begins. They are no longer exploring planets, they are exploring eternity. And somewhere out there, beyond the reach of our eyes, they continue their quiet flight. They will keep traveling long after their power fades, long after the last signal stops. The golden records will still glow faintly, waiting to be found, a time capsule of human hope, drifting among the stars. Perhaps one day, long after our own time has passed, someone or something will find them. Maybe an alien mind will lift a golden record, study the strange symbols etched upon it, and hear the sound of rain, the rush of ocean waves, the laughter of children, the song of life from a faraway world. Maybe they will understand that we were small but curious, fragile but kind, and that we long to know the universe that gave us birth. The pioneers and voyagers are our messengers of peace, tiny travelers that carry no weapons, no demands, only greetings. They were made not to conquer, but to connect. They move quietly, humbly, through the dark, guided only by light and gravity. Proof that even from one small planet, dreams can reach beyond the sky. So tonight, as you lie in the calm of your own orbit around the sun, imagine those little golden messengers gliding between the stars. They are still out there, still drifting, still carrying the heartbeat of humanity into the deep night. They move slowly, peacefully, forever, like candles floating across a cosmic sea. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the world beneath you sleeps, imagine a quiet band of lightless travelers circling far above the clouds. These are satellites and spacecraft, calm machines that glide silently through the thin darkness just beyond the air. They do not shine like stars, but they move with steady grace, tracing soft paths around the Earth. Each one turns gently, always watching, always listening, keeping company with our planet through endless night and day. From the ground, you might sometimes see one, a small point of light drifting slowly across the sky, steady and silent. It looks like a star that has decided to move, carrying its own quiet purpose. But up close, a satellite is a delicate creation, panels spread wide to catch sunlight, instruments resting in stillness, eyes that never blink. They move in perfect rhythm with Earth's rotation, circling again and again, never tired, never lost. Some satellites study the weather, watching the shapes of clouds swirl across the oceans. They see the shimmer of sunlight on waves, the curling edge of storms, the slow dance of seasons changing below. Others measure the air, the forest, the shifting ice, tiny movement invisible from the ground. They help us understand our world not with noise, but with patience. They drift quietly, gathering light, turning it into knowledge, sending it back across the sky. Many circle close to Earth, moving fast, completing a full orbit in just a few hours. Others float much farther out, where gravity feels softer, and their pace slows until they seem almost still, fixed above one point of the planet, watching the same clouds, the same city lights, the same turning horizon. Together, they form a kind of silent ring, a halo made not of stone or dust, but of curiosity and care. Beyond them drift the spacecraft, explorers that travel higher, further, into the deep. Some journey to the moon, others to distant planets. They move with quiet precision, guided by invisible hand from a world below. Inside them, there is no sound, only the hum of instruments and the soft vibration of motion. Their antennas stretch toward home, sending signals that travel through the dark for seconds, minutes, sometimes hours, before reaching us. There is beauty in their quiet work. When sunlight touches them, their metal surfaces glow like faint silver mirrors. When they move into Earth's shadow, they vanish into the dark, unseen but still there, gliding faithfully through the night. The line between sunlight and shadow, day and night, slides gently over their paths, wrapping them in alternating warmth and calm. Below them, the Earth turns slowly, covered in drifting clouds and sleeping cities. From above, they see it all. The white swirl of storms, the gold of deserts, the soft blues of oceans. They see lightning flash through clouds like veins of light. They watch auroras bloom near the poles, curtains of green and violet waving silently through the atmosphere. To them, the world glows softly, alive and beautiful. Sometimes, astronauts join them, people floating inside small cabins, watching the planet spin beneath their windows. They speak in calm voices, move slowly, and look down at the place they call home with quiet awe. They describe Earth as fragile, shining, delicate, a reminder that all we know fits within one glowing sphere surrounded by silence. The satellites and spacecraft will keep circling long after we sleep. They will continue their gentle watch, measuring, learning, and protecting. They are like lanterns in the dark, not burning, but reflecting, keeping the connection between Earth and sky alive. So tonight, as you breathe softly and close your eyes, imagine those quiet machines moving overhead, steady and serene. They are part of the planet's rhythm now, gliding above the clouds, keeping watch in silence, carrying the calm heartbeat of the Earth through the stars. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the sky stretches endlessly above you, imagine rising higher and higher, past the clouds, past the thin blue air, into the quiet stillness where space begins. The world beneath you grows smaller, softer, rounder. The noise fades away, and everything becomes calm. From here, the Earth no longer feels endless. It feels precious, a glowing marble floating in silence. Blue, white, green, and gold, a fragile sphere suspended in the dark sea of stars. From space, there are no borders, no lines, no divisions. Only the soft swirl of clouds drifting over oceans, the gentle curve of continents, the shimmer of sunlight reflecting on rivers and snow. The Earth turns slowly beneath you, wrapped in its own quiet rhythm. You can see storms forming and fading like breathing, the faint lights of cities glowing through the night, and shadows of mountains stretching across dawn's pale light. Everything feels alive, yet peaceful, a heartbeat made of clouds, water, and air. Astronauts often say that the first time they see Earth from space, it takes their breath away. It is not because of how large it looks, but because of how small. All the noise, all the worries, all the boundaries we draw, they disappear. From here, everything that has ever lived, loved, and dreamed fits onto one round, glowing world, turning silently under the gentle warmth of the sun. It feels like looking at home from a distance, realizing how delicate it truly is. The colors are soft but alive. The blue of the ocean stretches endlessly, deep and calm, broken only by the glimmer of waves and the faint outlines of continents. The white of clouds move slowly across the surface, like paint brushed across glass. The greens of forests and the browns of deserts blend gently, and over it all, the thin shimmer of the atmosphere glows, a fragile halo of light wrapping the planet in safety. From above, it looks as thin as breath, yet it holds all the air we have ever taken, all the sounds we have ever made. The view is silent. Space has no air, no wind, no echo. You can see lightning flicker in a storm far below, but you cannot hear the thunder. You can see the sunlight touch the edge of the planet, turning it gold, but you cannot feel the warmth. And still, it feels peaceful, the quiet of being far enough away to see everything, but close enough to understand that it is all one. From this height, day and night happen together. One side of the planet glows with sunlight, oceans glittering, clouds bright and white. The other side rests in gentle shadow, the night scattered with city lights like tiny constellations on the ground. It feels like two halves of a single breath, light and dark, awake and asleep, always turning, always balanced. If you watch long enough, you see the thin edge of dawn slide across the curve of Earth, a slow wave of light moving over mountains and seas. The blue deepens, the clouds brighten, and the world wakes quietly beneath the golden sun. Then, just as softly, night comes again, wrapping everything in shadow and starlight. From space, this rhythm looks eternal, a lullaby of light circling endlessly through time. And when you look farther, beyond the planet, you see the stars, countless, steady, patient. The Earth hangs among them like a drop of water caught in the vast dark. You realize that everything we know, every tree, every ocean, every person, exists on this one small world. It moves through space not with noise or force, but with grace, following its calm path around the sun. Sometimes, the astronauts who return to Earth speak of feeling they cannot name, a quiet understanding that the planet, for all its size, is fragile, delicate, and shared. From space, there's no us and them. There's only home. So tonight, as you rest, imagine yourself floating there, far above, weightless, looking down at the blue planet turning below. You can see the clouds drift, the ocean shimmer, the continents sleep beneath the glow of night. You are part of it, too, a small spark of life belonging to that world of light and air and gentle motion. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as the stars begin to fill the dark sky, imagine each one as a tiny lantern shining across an ocean of time. When you look up, you are not seeing the present. You are looking into memory, light that began its journey long ago, crossing the quiet spaces of the universe to find your eyes tonight. Light moves fast, faster than anything else we know, yet space is vast beyond imagining. Even at that incredible speed, it takes time for light to travel. The light from the moon reaches Earth in a little over a second. The glow of the sun, the warmth on your face during the day, takes about 8 minutes to arrive. But the light from the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is more than 4 years old when it touches you. That means when you gaze at the night sky, every star you see is showing you the past. You are surrounded by ancient light, gentle messages from long ago, arriving at last. Some of those stars no longer shine. Their light continues onward, carrying their memory across the dark. Each twinkle in the sky is a story already finished, a soft echo of something that once burned bright. The universe keeps their glow alive, spreading it endlessly, letting the past drift quietly through time. If you could trace each beam backward, you would see light flowing like invisible rivers through the dark, from stars, from galaxies, from places too far to imagine. Every one of those rays carries history. The birth of a sun, the fall of a comet, the reflection of light off ancient worlds. The night sky is not just a view. It is a vast library of moments that have already happened, written in starlight instead of words. The nearest stars show the recent past, years, perhaps centuries ago. But some of the faintest points of light, those barely visible to the eye, began their journey millions, even billions of years before you were born. The light from the Andromeda galaxy, the soft smudge that sometimes appears in a clear sky, left its home when early humans were just beginning to walk the earth. The light you see tonight began its journey before your ancestors had names for the stars, before there were cities or stories or even dreams of flight. And yet, that light still travels, still arrives, still shines. The stars may change, the galaxies may drift apart, but the light remains faithful, crossing emptiness without losing its glow. It is patient. It never hurries, never forgets its path. It carries with it a calm message. Everything that once was still exists, in some form, somewhere, shining softly in the dark. When you stand beneath the night sky, you become part of that story. Your eyes receive light that has been moving for ages. The moment you see it, it becomes part of you, your memory joining with the memory of the universe. You are seeing what the stars look like long before now, perhaps even before life began on Earth. It is as if the cosmos itself is whispering its past to you, one shimmer at a time. In a way, this makes every night sky both a window and a window into what once was, and a mirror how small and precious the present truly is. Time and distance stretch far beyond understanding, yet they connect us gently to everything that has ever existed. So tonight, when you look up, let the light touch you slowly. Remember that every sparkle is a story from long ago, still finding its way across the dark. You are not just looking at stars, you are looking at time itself, flowing like a calm river of light across eternity. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as your breathing slows and the world around you grows quiet, imagine space not as stillness, but as motion so gentle it feels eternal. Everything, every star, every planet, every grain of dust, is drifting, turning, and gliding in silence. The universe is not frozen. It moves like a vast, calm ocean. Its waves are made of time. Its tides are made of gravity. Yet nothing ever feels hurried. The earth, even as you rest upon it, is moving right now. It spins softly on its axis, carrying night into day and day into night. At the same time, it circles the sun, tracing a perfect loop through space once each year. The sun itself moves too, drifting slowly around the center of the Milky Way, carrying all its planets with like small lanterns following a gentle current. And the galaxy that holds us spins, stretching its spiral arms wide, turning once every few 100 million years. Every movement is vast, but every motion is peaceful. There is no noise, no rush, only balance, as though the universe itself breathes in slow rhythm. Even the light that crosses space does so calmly, moving at a steady, faithful pace, taking years, centuries, even millennia to reach its destination. Nothing in space is still, but nothing is frantic. Time stretches wide, allowing every journey to unfold without haste. From far above, the planets glide through their orbits like beads on invisible strings. Mercury races closest to the sun, small and bright, while Neptune drifts slowly in the far cold dark, taking more than a century and a half to complete one path. Yet from their own perspective, none are hurrying. Each moves at the pace it was given, a pace that feels right, balanced, and unbroken. The stars, too, are travelers. Some move together in small groups, like families of light bound by gravity. Others wander alone, drifting through the galaxy's arms with steady purpose. When you look up at the night sky, you see them fixed, shining in place. But they are not still. Over millions of years, they drift, their patterns changing so slowly that human eyes cannot see it. Constellations shift, dissolve, and reform, though to us they seem eternal. Beyond the stars, galaxies themselves move through space like floating islands. Some draw closer to each other, their edges brushing softly, merging over eons in a slow cosmic embrace. Others drift apart, carried away by the quiet expansion of the universe. The distance between them grows, but the movement remains gentle, as if space itself is breathing out, allowing everything more room to exist. This drift has been happening since the beginning, since the first light broke through the dark. The universe expands, not with explosion, but with calm unfolding, the way dawn spreads across the horizon. Every moment is part of that flow, every atom carried along by the same invisible tide. There is no stopping, no starting, only motion that has no beginning and no end. If you could listen, truly listen, to the rhythm of the universe, you would hear something like a heartbeat, not fast or loud, but deep and patient. The orbits of planets, the turns of galaxies, the pulses of distant stars, all beating in quiet harmony. Time and space does not rush forward like a river. It moves in slow, endless waves, curling and stretching, giving everything its moment to shine before drifting onward. Even you, as you lie here breathing, are part of that drift. The atoms in your body are moving with the Earth, spinning with the sun, circling the galaxy. You are traveling thousands of miles every minute, yet it feels like stillness. You are floating within motion, held in balance by gravity, carried by the same calm current that moves the stars. The universe does not leave you behind. It moves with you, through you, around you. Imagine now the view from far away, galaxies gliding like petals on a cosmic breeze, stars weaving their long paths through the dark, planets circling in slow dances of light and shadow. There is no sound, no sense of rush, only grace. Everything belongs to a rhythm so vast it feels eternal. Time, in space, does not hurry. 1,000,000 years can pass like a sigh, and yet the pattern remains unchanged. Stars are born, live their long lives, and fade into dust, but the dust becomes clouds, and the cloud becomes stars again. Every ending is a beginning, every drift a continuation. You are part of that cycle, made of the same elements that move through space, the same particles that once drifted between stars. Within you, time flows as it does in the universe, steady, endless, calm. So tonight, let yourself imagine floating among the stars, weightless, timeless, carried gently by invisible waves. Feel the universe moving around you, vast, quiet, alive. There is no need to rush, no need to reach anywhere. You are already part of the journey, already part of the motion that never ends. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Tonight, as your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts drift like soft clouds, imagine yourself floating at the edge of everything. The planets have fallen away behind you, their lights, their paths, their whispers. Even the sun, that warm and steady heart of our solar family, is now a distant glow, a golden star among countless others. You are beyond it all now, carried gently into the deep calm between the stars. Here, there is no up or down, no sound, no rush, only the slow drift of eternity. Around you, the universe opens like a vast ocean of light. Galaxies swirl in delicate spirals, their arms glowing like lanterns turning through water. The stars shimmer softly, not sharp or cold, but kind, as if each one is breathing, alive and at peace. You have come a long way, past the quiet strength of the sun, past the faithful planets, past a frozen world where time itself seems to sleep. And now, you are free, weightless, endless, unbound. The silence here is not empty. It is full of calm, the quiet hum of creation itself. Every direction leads forever, and yet, somehow, it feels safe. As you drift, you can still feel the warmth of home behind you, a faint blue light glowing softly in the distance. Earth, your small, beautiful world, spins silently among the stars. From here, it looks no larger than a pearl, glowing with oceans and clouds. It seems fragile, yet it holds everything you've ever known, every breath, every memory, every sunrise. It is still there, still turning, still alive. The further you drift, the slower time begins to feel. Seconds stretch into minutes, minutes into ages. Yet you are not lost. The stars guide you, their light like soft threads weaving through the dark. Each one carries its own calm rhythm, old, patient, eternal. You realize then that motion and stillness are the same here. The stars are moving, the galaxies are moving, and you are moving, yet everything feels perfectly still. Far ahead, the light fades into a velvet horizon. There are no edges in space, only soft transitions, from brightness to shadow, from thought to dream. You begin to feel as if you're floating not through distance, but through time itself. The stars that surround you might have already faded long ago, but their light still shines. The universe keeps their memory alive, carrying them forward in waves of quiet light. As you drift onward, you feel lighter, as though gravity itself has let go. Your body feels transparent, soft as mist. The borders between you and space begin to blur. The air, the stars, your thoughts, all moving together, flowing like one gentle current. You are no longer a traveler in the universe. You are part of it, a glimmer in its great ocean, a whisper in its long and endless breath. You pass through clouds of dust where new stars are forming, soft glows within misty clouds of light. You see nebulae stretching across the dark like painted dreams, blue and rose and gold, glowing with the warmth of new beginnings. Everything here feels slow and alive, as if the universe itself is dreaming. The stars above you do not twinkle, they pulse. Their light reaches you in waves, steady and calm, like heartbeats of infinity. The galaxies drift slowly around you, great spirals turning without sound, their motion so vast it feels like stillness. You realize that even here, in the furthest reaches of space, nothing is truly alone. Everything moves together, bound by invisible connection, the same gentle force that keeps planets in their orbits and hearts in their rhythm. And as you float, you remember the journey, the warmth of the sun, the soft blue of Earth, the rings of Saturn shining like music in the dark, the calm heart of Jupiter's storms, the distant glow of Neptune's blue winds. You have seen it all, the great family of worlds moving together in endless grace. And now, at the edge of that family, you can rest. You drift farther, past the last trace of sunlight, into a place where the stars become softer, their light fading into deep silver mist. Hey, there's only quiet, not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of peace. A stillness so deep it feels like being held. The air around you glows faintly with the dust of stars long gone, their remnants forming the foundation of new ones yet to come. Everything continues, endlessly, gently, beautifully. As you float, you feel gratitude for the light, for the warmth, for the chance to have seen the universe from its heart to its edge. You feel as if the stars themselves are thanking you, shining just a little brighter for a moment before fading back into calm. And now, as the darkness deepens, you can let go completely. The weight of thought, of movement, of time, all of it drift away. You are a feather in the tide of infinity, resting, turning, glowing softly among the stars. The journey has brought you here, beyond the sun, beyond the planets, beyond the horizon where time itself slows to a dream. You are surrounded by quiet beauty, floating in the same rhythm that carries galaxies and hearts alike. Now, let yourself drift deeper, beyond thought, beyond light, into rest and sleep,